So I don't think I'll have enough room at the top of the factory to put the assemblers and refineries. I'd have to make another. I'd have to use two layers for that stuff. So I'm thinking about making a separate factory down here for the sulfur and coal and the assemblers. Uh, uh, so they get combined to make compacted coal, and then the compacted coal and the fuel I'm already producing goes into refineries, and that gives me turbo fuel, which is more efficient, which will give me more megawatts with the same amount of fuel, same amount of oil. So that's been the original plan. I just didn't build the factory big enough for it. So that's why I'm going up more. So there'll be 8 floors of 64 fuel generators each. So right now there's 96. There's a there's 8 rows by 12, and those 8 rows by 12 will go down to 8 rows by 8. So 64 per floor, and then one pipeline can support each floor. I'll have 8 pipelines of turbo fuel, one for each floor, and then above those eight floors will be the refineries and assemblers if I go that route. I'm thinking about just going the easy route and doing it here on the ground. I got plenty of room. I just ignored this. The the pipes are gonna be moved, uh, so ignore that. I'll take you for a little walk. So the bottom three will have 600 sulfur, and the top two will have 780. I'm actually limited by my belts on these top two. Uh, those are pure nodes, and I could get 1200 out of them if I had the Mark 6 belt, but I am limited by what I have unlocked, which I haven't been for a while, but we're here. So I'm gonna make a turn here. So this is the junction. I have one over there in the distance. I won't go that way. It's not really interesting. And then the rest will be coming this from over here. I try to do my best with the foundations. I had already built some of this. I'm just retrofitting it. A slight curve here. A slight curve is fairly easy if your vehicles aren't going to be going on it. So this is the second. It's coming. It's not on foundation. It doesn't really need to be, but it's poking through the ground, through elevator, and meeting the other line. The other lines haven't been ran this far because I ran out of alkalide sheets for Mark 5 belts. But here's another ramp I gotta contend with. And I haven't routed any of the coal yet, so that's gonna be another time consuming issue. But there is several nodes over here. I just have to belt them. There's also a small dip here. There's nothing I can really do about it. There's one over there, or two over there, one over there. I guess there's three over there. And there should be, yeah, the one I know about is right there. I probably would. I've never used trucks, but I probably would have used trucks if this wasn't like essential to the entire planet. I don't like using stuff that requires stuff to move things to keep my power on. Because without power, those belts stop. Without power, those trucks stop. Without fuel, without whatever you want to use, they'll stop. Is that... Oh, sweet. I made it high enough so he can go underneath it. Sweet. Oh, this is one of the starting points, by the way. So we're just going to go for a little walk. Feel free to fast forward. Or track, I guess. But this is where I ran. This is where I ran out. I was working on the bottom road to see how far I could extend it before I ran out completely. Just because I'm using belts doesn't mean I'm not. I am trying to make it clean. So I do have some impure nodes. They produce 300 each with my Mark III miners and 3 power shards. It's expensive to do, but with finite sulfur nodes on the map, you kind of do what you got to do. So this bottom one is 300, and this one over here is 300, and I'm merging it into a 600 line. I'll show you how far this one over is. And the coal is right next to this sulfur node over here. I don't know if you can see that, but that's coal right there. And the sulfur is over there. I'll show you what a shitty impure can do once you get things unlocked. Mark III is the highest miner. So this is the highest you can get for, and it's not good use of resources, but because it needs supercomputers, turbo motors, and 3 power shards, but 300 per minute. This is an impure node. This is the worst type of node in the game, and 300, it is what it is. But oh, you can see the coal from here, right there. I'm gonna check the purity. Hopefully it's a pure. I never actually checked, cause I need to come up with almost 3,500 coal. So if this is pure, that's... Oh yeah! Oh yeah! So, okay, so I'll show you how I'm limited by my technology. So this is what it needs. It needs a lot of shit. They're really expensive for me to make right now. So 480 without any shards is the lowest. That's Mark IV belts. So you'll have Mark IV and 5 way before you get Mark III miner. But look at this. So at 150%, 1 shard, it's 720. My belts, Mark 5s, are limited to 780. Check this out. 200%, 960. 250%, 1200 for 1 node of pure. It's insane. I can't wait to get Mark 6 belts. So there's that. That's cool. I'm really happy that's a pure. That solves a little bit of my problem. I just like flying everywhere, so you're gonna see random uh, poles. You're gonna see random power poles throughout the world, so I can just fly above stuff. I used to actually, until 2 or 3 days ago, I fought everything I saw. So this is the main line, and when it meets the other two, it's gonna be 5 high instead of 3 high. So that's that's gonna be the most resources I've ever built it in. We're gonna and feel free to skip ahead or just watch this in your leisure. But I'm gonna show you how far this belt is. We've already went that far, which wasn't very far. Is that a gold slime? Yeah, I need to get that. We're going for a detour. So I'm gonna grab my jetpack. Make sure I got the right fuel. Go over here. Oh yeah, that's 5 power shards right there. If I were to build the power plant how I want, like with as if I had unlimited power charge, which I don't, but let's say I did, it would take about 600 power shards, and that's not even putting power shards in the actual fuel generators. That's just the supporting machines to lower the amount I need. So let's continue on our track. Or is it? I don't. I don't really need to stop for the blue ones. I'm sure you've seen a couple. I've seen 3 already in this recording. So these fuel generators. Oh, I guess this is the end. That's not that bad. I thought it was so much farther. So you you probably don't know what these are. These are I can't remember. These are geothermal generators. So they go on geysers, which you haven't unlocked yet. Geysers. So what these are, they give you free power. You don't have to do anything except put this machine on. The one downside is the power fluctuates. So you can't really count on it super a lot, but it adds something. And if you get enough of them, you can count on that. Uh, so that gave me about 300. This is giving about 400. And then there's 2 more over here. We'll have to. And no, I'm not in creative. This is the uh, hover pack. It uses 100 megawatts. As long as you have power connected within a reasonable distance, you can fly like those. So is it done here? Where is it? Yeah, it should be over here. There's 2 more. Uh, where's the other one? Yeah, right there and there. $140. That's not super great, but like I said, it fluctuates. This is just free power that you can get in the world. If you have the resources to make it, which it's pretty hefty. Well, not really. 10 motors, 25 high speed connectors. I mean, I definitely feel the high speed connectors because those are I don't think I've ever automated those. I just have to move resources into my manual factory. But that's the end of the line. And so and I'm gonna have to do the 5 high for coal as well throughout this side of the world. I'm trying to take most of it from the bottom half of the map. There is a lot of coal above in the top side of the map. I'm trying to limit how much I'm using just for power. I believe once everything's said and done, I'm gonna have between 110 and 120,000 megawatts, which is absolutely insane. So the highest peak that my factory can produce at full efficiency is like 48,000 megawatts right now. Turbo fuel basically it almost triples it. So it's worth the extra investment of sulfur and coal, but you just got to do so much legwork. And like I mentioned earlier, the reason why I'm belting it over instead of using trucks and stuff, I'm not very good with trucks or trains yet, and B is that those things require fuel. I don't want anything to require anything except power because I have a battery backup. If my power plant goes down, this will still have power because of my battery. I have 43,000 megawatts of backup battery. And like I showed you when you were here, I can turn off basically the biggest power draw in my world and let the belts fill back up from. I haven't quarantined these power poles yet to be on their own circuit, but I will. Um, but if my power drops, I can turn. The factory will turn off, and then the battery will supply the resources to get to the factory, and I can restart my power plant. That's mainly that's the main reason why I did it this way, even though it's a it's a long distance. It's the longest belt I probably will ever make. I want to let's see if I can even scan those from here. That one's 1,000. The ones at the far end are 1,400 meters away from right here. Now keep in mind, front all the way to the back, that's 3 belts at 1,400 meters. And we're not even to the turn yet. I'll do a last meter count at the turn. I'm not gonna worry about from the turn to the end of wherever it's going because it hasn't been finalized yet. I could, in theory, make the compacted coal factory somewhere over here and then just ship the compacted coal to the plant. But I kind of want to keep it close. I kind of want to do it all in the power plant. So if anything goes wrong, everything is on site and I can fix it like that. There's a Kateria node, which I'll be using eventually. I'll probably use a truck for that. That does not need to be on. That's not a priority. So from the turn, just the straight. That's that one. That's the other one that I didn't walk to. That's the one by the coal, the pure coal at 1,900 meters. And the 3 in the far end, are they gonna ping it? I guess they're not. They are too far away. You can't even see them, but they're over here somewhere. So probably 2,500 meters at the turn. Alright, like I said, feel free to skip ahead, scan, or just watch at your leisure.